Trying to get to the truth by looking at both sides, especially on the extremes, is a headache, as it seems both sides accuse the other of being fake and propaganda. Yeah, so this is part of like the information age with the internet and everything, which sucks. But as we have much more easy access to knowledge, we're getting dumber. Isn't that so sad? But that's true. We've never been more smart. We've never been more dumb at the same time because of the fucking internet. Because it's so much easier to ignore people that you don't want to listen to. It's a lot easier to talk to only people that you agree with. And there aren't any regulations on how you should exchange this information. And in some ways, maybe there shouldn't be, but like it's also like just hard. It's up to each person now individually to like actually talk to people. But the issue is that the usual ways of actually getting to that, there used to be supposed to be like legitimate news sources that you can like read and everything like that actually will give you unbiased news. Like that's just not there anymore. So this is why people need to rely on this kind of stuff, which is terrible. When the internet was introduced, it was just smart people sharing information with other smart people. And then the internet was put on phones. So you either pick a side, ignore it, or just assume the truth is somewhere in between. I hope people don't give up on communication. I do think that's one of the biggest things that I want to impart from my stream, at least, is that we need to be open enough in the way that we think so that we can talk to anybody about any of these issues and try to understand what's going on. We cannot let ourselves like culturally ignore things that are difficult to talk about or things that we don't agree with. It's too important not to do that. This is something that I feel very strongly about. I want there to be more spaces that people feel like they can freely talk to other people without just getting insulted, you know? And this is the case on both sides, in Republicans and for Democrats, where they think the other side are horrendous, terrible people, and they just won't even talk to them or think that, like for example, like a lot of the Democrats right now, there's like the whole like Thafo tag everywhere. They're like, oh, they fucked around and voted for this terrible person and now they're going to find out how terrible it is. No, that's not what's going to happen. But they think that that's what's happening and they're relishing in like people going through pain from new regulations and shit that's happening. That's not going to help anyone. That just make things worse. Like that's going to separate every one of us more. That is not helpful. I fucking hate it. The signs were there when AOL gained traction. The internet became too easy. Back in the early days, you had to know the website you were going to. Also, the longer we remain not communicating with each other and divided along echo chambers, etc., the more divided we are, the easier it is for those in power to overpower. Yes, there's a huge incentive from people in power to keep us manipulated this way. Also, other countries, not just us, right? Other countries can interfere with our politics a lot easier because of the internet now. Like, all you need is like a few like robot trolls to like say like the extreme opinions louder that pushes everybody to more extremes. And that really makes things easy to manipulate, right? Like the government is much easier to be like, oh, they're definitely going to go this way because they're scared of this shit. I like your funny words, Tiny Blue Dragon, but they only work when people want to work in good faith. That's why I think it's so important that, at least in my personal life, I want there to be spaces where we do try to talk to each other in good faith. I do think it's an education thing. Like there need to be safety regulations around the internet, and there needs to be more ethical training on like communication in general. Destroying the Board of Education, I don't think is going to help, but some people think that it's going to be useful for some other shit, but I do think education is where it should start. Why are people like this in the first place? So the way I see it is quality of life is getting so bad, so much worse than it used to be. This is the first 2 generations, I think, where their lives are going to be worse than the quality of life of their parents. It hasn't been like that in a very long time. And hitting our peak, you know? And like things are getting worse and like people want change. This is why things are going to more extremes, but they're not actually solving anything with these extremes. We need people that like actually will choose to help. I want to be part of that, and I want to be part of like educating people and like trying to make spaces where we can talk to each other about stuff.
Welcome to the stream! Suck my
Letting the Texas school district set the curriculum standards 20 years ago basically already destroyed the DOE. Ugh, I hate it. The GOP called this the Southern strategy, and it wasn't a secret. I mean, it's not just that, right? It's also because there have been biases in our health system, in our administration, that make working class people not trust institutions. There are lots of things that have happened that make people not trust like their regular doctor. I was tweeting about this like just like this week, last week, about how I am seriously concerned. Like I was at first I just thought that, oh, it's probably just because I haven't heard of like any organizations that are pushing for communication and transparency and building trust between health administration, healthcare workers, with the general public, and like pushing science literacy in like a non looking down on everyone way. I literally could not find one. I have literally searched and I cannot find anybody pushing for building trust between the general public and the health system. Like that's fucked up. Like that means that healthcare workers just think that people are stupid and they don't think that they should work towards trying to, like, there is no concerted systemic effort for it. And that's what's like ridiculous. Yeah, sorry, non-condescending. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. It really messes with my head that there's nothing out there. And the general public clearly doesn't trust like health system because there has been biases. It's generally biased against like poor people. It's generally biased against people of color. There are a lot of things like that that make a lot of these people don't trust the health system. It's not all just like people are dumb. Yes, that's a large part of it, but like there will always be like we have to move forward even if people aren't smart. Like that's just how society is. Society is not built up of like 100% smart people. Like that's just not how it works. There's always going to be a range of people, but we still care about those people. We want those people to flourish. We want those people to be happy. We want them to be able to have a living wage. We want them to be able to get health care when they need it. They want to be able to see a doctor when they're sick and like be able to trust institutions so that they can make their lives better. That's what we want there to be for everyone. It doesn't have to be just for like the smart people. This is why I really hate the fuck around and find out hashtag. Like this is basically saying you did not care about the issues on like on a real level. You're not caring about these people. You just care about being right. Like that's terrifying. Like that's terrible. Like don't do that. If you're going to be a good person, be a good person because like you want it for everybody, right? Like it's not like, I'm smart enough to know what's right so everybody else should suffer. Like that's stupid. That's so stupid. Like it makes me like legit so angry. Like so sad and angry every time I hear shit like this, cuz I'm like, what do you think the point of like being a society is? It's not to just help people that you think are good people. It's literally for helping everyone. Like, that's why we're together. Like, we're together as a society so that we all get to be pushed together and have better lives together. Having the attitude of just pushing out the people that you don't agree with and, like, hurting the people that you think are too dumb to help, like, that's not gonna do anything. I thought the point was to hurt the people we don't like. Yeehaw. Like, that is literally such an American thing. There's this attitude of, like, they're in pain and their solution is to hurt other people so that they're also in pain. It's not about improving quality of life for everybody. And that bothers me so much. I want all of this, like all of this should be, I want us to be able to talk about things. I want us to try to think about solutions for everyone. It doesn't matter if you think that they did something bad to you. It doesn't matter. Like everybody deserves a chance to have like a good life, like a good basis of life. I don't care if you consider them a bad person, if you consider them a dumb person. Everybody deserves like certain rights and a certain level of treatment of respect. I do think the church culture is a big thing, but like America in general has that kind of culture as well. Some pseudoscience has fueled this as well. The idea of like survival of the fittest. The idea of the church having this idea of like there are inherently bad people and we need to punish them, versus the idea is that everybody is inherently good and we should be trying to rehabilitate them. That is the attitude that I wish everybody had. But our government doesn't function that way. We function in a punishing people society in the US. It upsets me that there's a swing back towards religiosity in Gen Z. It feels like losing progress. Well, why are they feeling that way? Why do you think they're swinging that way? They're swinging that way because they don't feel supported in other places. They know that their life is getting worse. They can feel that shit is hitting the fan. And they need to go to different places to be able to get that support. This is why we have like terrible content creators. I'm so sorry to say this, but like we have some content creators that are fueling the worst parts of society right now, and I hate it so much. Content creators, we should be pushing, like ethically, we should be pushing for what we think is actually best for everybody and not for like hating on people. And that's not where we are. Punish, jail, kill versus save, rehabilitate, re-educate. Yes, exactly. I can't discuss that much with many right-leaning people, as many assume I'm just using emotional blackmail. See, like, that's really hard to do, right? We weren't taught how to talk, like, how to communicate with people effectively without demeaning them, without being condescending. Like, it's really difficult. Especially, you're going to come off preachy because you're going to think that you have the upper hand in all the knowledge and, like, you're right in everything. And having that feeling makes people not want to listen to you. It's really difficult to get other people to listen to you. This is one thing that I like about humor and stand-up. I think it's easier to get people to be disarmed if you have a laugh about something. Usually we have a lot of shared values, and we should focus on those shared values and when we're trying to improve stuff. They will probably swing back right if the right becomes preachy too. Yes. So I do think Gen Z will be swinging back the other way. Hey baby sis, stays on my mind, and why the fuck is there a baby crying outside your hotel room?